Aging is often framed as an inevitable decline, but a massive audit of global health data suggests a different primary driver of mortality. The leading cause of death is the American diet. This chart displays the leading causes of human mortality according to the Global Burden of Disease study. Daily dietary intake has eclipsed tobacco smoking to become the #1 risk factor for death in the United States. The modern allopathic medical system is structured to manage the symptoms of this decline. We prescribe statins and blood pressure medications to slow the rate of decay, but these interventions rarely address the underlying cause. However, clinical data identifies an entirely different pathway. A whole food plant-based diet is shown to arrest and in many cases reverse the progression of these chronic conditions. We observe two distinct timelines. On top, an artery steadily narrows despite standard pharmaceutical management. On the bottom, a plant-based intervention dissolves existing plaque. This clearance occurs without surgical stents or statin therapy, by changing the bloodstream's biochemical environment. We are conducting a biological audit of our nutritional inputs. We will weigh the mechanisms of animal products against the active compounds found in plants. We must determine whether the consumption of animal products functions as a nutritional requirement or a biological liability. Our audit begins with the cardiovascular system and a molecule called choline, which is highly concentrated in eggs and poultry. When choline is ingested, specific gut bacteria convert it into an intermediary molecule called trimethylamine. This molecule enters the bloodstream and travels to the liver, where it is oxidized into a compound called TMAO. TMAO circulates through the body, damaging the vascular endothelium, the delicate inner lining of the blood vessels, and promoting inflammation in tissues like the prostate. Harvard researchers found that men consuming less than 1 egg per day still doubled their risk of prostate cancer progression. High levels of TMAO make the bloodstream hostile to vascular health, accelerating the buildup of plaque and increasing the lethality of heart disease. Adopting a plant-based diet starves the specific gut bacteria responsible for this conversion, effectively cutting off the production of TMAO at the source. The data suggests that even moderate animal product consumption manufactures these vascular toxins. Eliminating the input is the most effective way to stop the output. The second audit item is cancer. Tumor promotion is heavily influenced by animal proteins, which are rich in the amino acid methionine. Ingesting these proteins triggers a spike in insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, in the human bloodstream. IGF-1 acts as a growth hormone that promotes cell division, effectively serving as a fertilizer for malignant tumor progression. Scientists tested this by dripping blood from different dietary cohorts directly onto cancer cells growing in a laboratory. On the left, cancer cells thrive when exposed to blood from individuals on a standard diet. This blood mounts a minimal defense, achieving only a 9% knockdown rate. On the right, we see the results using blood drawn from the same subjects after only 2 weeks of eating plant-based. The plant-based blood destroys the malignant cells. We see a 70% knockdown rate as the cancer cells undergo apoptosis, or programmed cell death. This shift occurred within a 14-day window. In 2 weeks, the change in dietary inputs significantly improved the blood's capacity to suppress cancer growth. Lowering animal protein intake reduces circulating IGF-1, removing the growth signal that cancer cells rely on to divide and survive. Daily nutritional choices determine whether the bloodstream supports tumor growth or actively suppresses it. Our third audit item covers type 2 diabetes and kidney failure. While often categorized together, different protein sources have distinct physical effects on the body. This macro view illustrates hyperfiltration. Animal protein intake forces the kidneys into a state of high mechanical pressure, overworking the filtration system. Plant protein does not induce this stress. It allows the kidneys to process waste without the destructive pressure associated with animal-derived inputs. For diabetics, shifting to a whole food plant-based diet can improve insulin sensitivity so rapidly that many patients eliminate the need for injected insulin within weeks. This metabolic reversal occurs independently of weight loss, identifying it as a direct result of altering biochemical inputs. Prioritizing animal protein for nutrition introduces a chronic biological stressor that can lead to long-term organ damage. Nutrition functions as a zero-sum game. Every animal product consumed displaces plant-based compounds that provide active health benefits. Soy and tempeh are rich in spermidine, a compound that serves as a critical signal for cellular repair. Spermidine triggers autophagy, the body's housekeeping system that clears out damaged cellular components to maintain efficiency. Mushrooms provide ergothioneine to protect cell integrity, while flax seeds contain lignans that modulate hormone activity, which is linked to lower breast cancer mortality. These compounds are dietary staples in blue zones like Okinawa, where we see the world's highest concentrations of healthy centenarians. A whole food plant-based diet activates the body's internal defenses, providing the biochemical tools required to maintain cellular integrity. There is no pharmaceutical intervention capable of matching these collective results. Only one dietary pattern is proven to halt heart disease, improve cancer defenses, and reverse type 2 diabetes simultaneously. The profound implications of this biological audit extend far beyond the microscopic human bloodstream, scaling rapidly outward to impact the planetary level. This chart contrasts the ecological footprint of our food systems. Animal agriculture dwarfs plant-based farming in land use, water consumption, and methane emissions. The resource discrepancy is stark. Animal agriculture is a mathematically inefficient method for sustaining a global population. The same dietary choices that drive chronic human disease also compromise the stability of the global climate. The data confirms that a whole food plant-based diet is the most statistically powerful choice for both individual longevity and planetary survival. The biological audit is now fully complete.